Tell your neighbor, you are the church. I am the church. We are the church. Church, how are you today? What is your response to this question? If you say you are fine, you are making a positive confession over your situation. But that does not mean that you are totally free from pain, hardship, trouble, setback, or any other form of discomfort. People of God, the lifestyle God expects from us as Christians is a lifestyle of positive faith. I mean positive thinking, positive talking, and positive acting. As a Christian, whenever we are asked, how are you? There is a response taught by my father in the Lord, Prophet T.B. Joshua, which is, how I feel has very little to do with how I am. I mean, the part of me that hurts is just a shell. The real me is just fine. Tell your neighbor, how I feel has very little to do with how I am. I mean, the part of me that hurts is just a shell. The real me is just fine. In other words, the flesh, outer man, may be in pain and discomfort, but the spirit, inner man, is just fine. Therefore, as a man of faith, as a woman of faith, even in the midst of trouble, hardship, and pain, you can confidently say, it is well with my soul. Let someone say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul.
It is well. It is well with my soul. With my soul. It is well. It is well. It is well with my soul.
Thank you. Thank you. You may have your seats. Today's message is titled, It is Well. Let someone say, it is well. Yes. We shall take our proof text from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 8 to 37. I will start my reading from verse 16. Then he said, about this time next year, you shall embrace a son. And she said, no, my Lord, man of God, do not lie to your maidservant. But the woman conceived and bore a son, when the appointed time had come, of which Elisha had told her. And the child grew. Now it happened one day that he went out to his father, to the reapers. And he said to his father, my head, my head. So he said to his servant, carry him to his mother. When he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees till noon and then died. And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, shut the door upon him, and went out. Then she called to her husband and said, "Please send me one of the young men and one of the donkeys, that I may run to the man of God and come back." So he said, "Why are you going to him today? It is neither the new moon nor the Sabbath." And she said, "It is well." Take note of the statement, "It is well." Then she saddled a donkey and said to her servant, "Drive and go forward. Do not slacken the pace for me unless I tell you." And so she departed and went to the man of God at Mount Carmel. So it was when the man of God saw her afar off that he said to his servant Gehazi, "Look, the Shunammite woman. Please run now to meet her and say to her, 'Is it well with you? Is it well with your husband? Is it well with the child?' And she answered, 'It is well.'" Let someone say, "It is well." I believe that many things will be going through your mind concerning the response of the Shunammite woman. What prompted the Shunammite woman to say, "It is well," whereas on the outside, it was not well at all? When you look at the situation on the ground, you will agree with me that she was a woman of faith. As a woman of faith, she saw beyond the present situation. Beyond the present situation was revival, renewal, and redemption. To the people of the world, trouble, affliction, poverty, and the like are a poison that kills man's happiness and zeal to move forward. But to the people of God, these things serve as a tonic, a driving force to higher aspiration. Hallelujah. These troubles, rather than discourage us and dampen our love for God, increase the depth of our love for Christ, whose love for us surpasses all understanding. Trouble and affliction serve in moving us closer to God. There is no other Christian except a Christian who depends on the will of God. We have a lesson to learn from the Shunammite woman. What could be more agonizing than the experience of an old mother losing her only child in her old age, but without even informing her husband of this tragedy? She traveled a long distance to meet Elisha, the prophet of God, because she had faith that if only she could meet the man of God, all would be well. She knew her case was redeemable. That was why she confessed positively about it. Your situation is redeemable through Christ. All you need to do is to be proud of that situation for God's sake, in order to feel the redemption. Tell your neighbor, your situation is redeemable through Christ. All you need to do is to be proud of that situation for God's sake, in order to feel the redemption. Your confession is real faith talking.